Hi guys, it's the 10th of October and this is the third time that I've recorded this review just simply because of technological problems. I plugged my microphone into the headphone socket. Anyway, this is the 10th film, October 10th, I've already said that, of my 31 Horrors of Mike, where I'm reviewing a horror film every day of October leading up to Halloween. So number 10 is House from 1986. It's about a recovering alcoholic MD. No, not really. It's a haunted house film. It's one of my favourites. I adore this film. I loved it as a kid. It's an absolute blast. Um, the story came from Fred Decker, who directed Night of the Creeps and Monster Squad. He also unfortunately directed RoboCop 3, but we'll let him away with that because Night of the Creeps and Monster Squad are awesome. And Sean S. Cunningham from Friday the 13th and all that, he was involved in the film as well. And it revolves around a character called Roger Cobb, who is a writer and a Vietnam veteran. Roger loses a child. Well, his child goes missing. He thinks his child's been abducted. And through his obsession of trying to find his child, he loses his marriage to his wife. His wife leaves him, and also a close aunt of his then dies and leaves him this old mansion, but it's in a suburban area, but it's this big massive old house. So Roger decides to go to the house, move in, and gather his thoughts and finish a book that he's working on. While he's there, he starts realizing that there is an evil presence in the house, and this evil presence seems hell bent on making Roger face his demons, quite literally, to face his past. So he's made to face images of the horrors of war, the horrors of Vietnam that he was involved in, and also to deal with the fact that he's lost his child, and where has his child went. Um, and also the ghost of his aunt and all sorts of other things. There's zombie women, there's severed hands and stuff like that kicking about. There's stuff living in cupboards. There's portals to other dimensions. There's all sorts of things going on. It might sound a bit grim in terms of the tone when I tell you about the plot, but really it's an absolute hoot, and it's got a great sense of comedy. There's a lot of Evil Dead in this film. You've got the one character in this sort of confined space dealing with all this crazy demonic stuff happening around him. And you've got some a great supporting cast. You've got George Wendt, who played Norm in Cheers. Hey Norm, and he he plays this sort of nosy neighbour who's always involved in eating Roger's food and try to help him out, find out what's going on in his house and all that sort of stuff, which is great. And throughout the film, like I say, it just develops as Roger decides to like be proactive and um, become Darth Vader apparently. Be proactive and try to confront what's in the house. And there's a mystery element to it as well about where his child is and all that. It's really funny. There are some genuine moments of horror. There's some genuine scares. I found this film really creepy when I was a kid, but it's not as creepy now, But it's a really enjoyable film. Excuse me while I scratch myself. So this is going badly. I may have to do this for a fourth time. There's also a couple of sequels. Well, there are three sequels actually. House 2, the second story, which One Boys Post 1975. Dave, a good friend of mine on YouTube, hates House 2, the second story, the sequel. I love the sequel. I don't love it as a sequel to the original film because it's got nothing to do with it. I don't know why they called it House 2. Um, but I think that it's a really fun film. It's more of a fantasy adventure film and comedy than a horror film. House 2. So, but I would definitely recommend it. I think it's an absolute hoot. It's just 80s all over. It's just out of control, but a lot of fun. There's also House 3, which disregard. It's well, don't disregard it as a film. It's not actually a sequel. It's just called House 3 in Europe, and House 4, which is pretty mediocre but does have Roger Cobb in it again. Anyway, so that is House 1986. Definitely go and check it out. It's an absolute blast. thanks for all the great feedback people have been giving me on the films. I will get through and I will answer every single comment I get. It's just I've got a little bit of a backlog at the moment because I'm still busy on my film and all that sort of stuff. And I think once I finish this, get to Halloween, I might do a little question and answer video. See if you guys are interested in doing that. I don't know. I will have about hopefully, you know, around about 250 subscribers. So I think maybe I've got enough now to do a question and answer video. We'll see if anybody cares. But thanks again, and I will see you all tomorrow when it's the 11th, and I've got another great film ready for you, I think.